What would you do if everything in your life changed? Your house, your school, your friends, your family, everything. Hello amigos and flamingos, welcome back to Storytime with Gilbert-Ian. This is what the main character, Naomi Soledad Leon Outlaw, is experiencing in her life. In a book written by Pam Munoz Ryan. Naomi lives in Lemon Tree, in a trailer that her family calls Baby Beluga. She lives with her great-grandmother and her little brother Owen. Her great-grandmother, who she calls Gram, is 69 years old and is very, very strict and very, very protective. On the other hand, Naomi's mother is a mean, abusive alcoholic who abandons her children for many, many years. The children are recovering from traumas. Naomi had selective mutism and even now has difficulty speaking, while Owen, born with birth defects that have left him a FLK, a funny-looking kid. Owen wears pieces of tape across his chest so that he can feel more secure. When their mother finally returns, she drives drunk. She threatens Naomi and even goes as far as to slap her. The sad part of it all is that she came to claim Naomi, but not Owen, her other son. And the reason why she doesn't want her son is even more heartbreaking. She doesn't want her son because he is handicapped. Let's read some. And I mulled over my sorry situation at school, which was 3 boys in my 5th grade class who had decided that Outlaw was the funniest last name in the universe. They did not give me an ounce of peace. "Have you robbed any banks lately?" was one of their favorite sayings, along with jumping out at me, throwing their arms in the air, and yelling, "Is this a stick-up?" My teacher, Miss Morimoto, said to ignore them. But I had tried and it did no good. I was fed up. So I was making a list of what I could say back to them that might be embarrassing. I wrote across the top of my notebook page, "How to get boys to stop making fun of my name." I scooted my notebook in front of Gram to see if she had any idea. "Naomi, I have lived with that name since I married your great-grandpa, rest his soul, almost 50 years ago, and I am due proud. Besides, there are worse things in life." "You don't go to Buena Vista Elementary," I said. She laughed. "That's true, but I can tell you that boys have not changed an iota, and they are hard to humble. You know my true feelings on that subject." "How about writing? Those boys will not bother me." "Grandma said that when you thought positive, you could make things happen. And when it did happen, it was called a self-prophecy. If you wanted to be the best speller in the class, you said to yourself over and over, 'I am the best speller in class. I am the best speller in class. Did you hear me? I am the best speller in class.' And then before you knew it, you were practicing and becoming it. It was sort of like magic, and Grandma believed it in her bones. But it didn't always work the way I hoped. At one time, Owen and I were the only children at the trailer park. I thought positive every day for a month for more kids at Avocado Acres, but all that moved in was a family with a teenager and a brand new baby. Graham insisted my positive thinking had succeeded, but I had been greatly disappointed. Before I could write down Graham's suggestion, Owen sneezed, and it was a big one. The kind that sprinkled spittle and left his eyes all teary. "Oh, God, social distancing. Cover your mouth, Owen." "Owen, you got it on my page," I said, smoothing my paper, which only smeared the wet spots. "Sorry," he said, and then he sneezed again. "Company's coming twice," said Gram, matter of fact. It was another of her Oklahoma notions. She had a million of them that she believed whole heart. This one being if a body sneezed, someone would pay a visit. We already know for sure that Fabiola's coming over, said Owen. Fabiola Morales lived with her husband Bernardo just a stone throws away in the middle of the avocado grove. Bernardo took care of the 300 trees, and in return, he didn't have to pay rent on their tiny house. Fabiola and Graham were newly retired from Walker Gordon Department Store, where they had worked for 35 years as seamstresses, doing alterations with their sewing tables face to face. Well, amigos and flamingos, story time is over. We ran out of time. Even so, the story is still filled with positive role models. And Naomi eventually learns how to be brave enough to speak her mind. What do you think? Would you give this book a try? Thank you so much for joining me in my garden. I really wanted to showcase my roses again. I'm absolutely in love with these roses. But mostly because very soon they're going to wilt away. Well, I guess you'll have to join me next week, because next week we have another great story planned. Bye!